sunshine out here, and it's going to be a beautiful day. So, want to get the cockpit uh, opened up and get down into the cabin for a few minutes, and then we got to get to work. We want to get hold of the tape, and I think I'm going to use some sandpaper on the inside of the tow rails, and just kind of try to spiff them up a little bit and then clean them before we put the tape on. Um, yeah, I'll explain later. But in the meantime, it's a beautiful day. Let's get to work. And as soon as I get done with this initial setup here, I'm going to be back in the house and get some breakfast. So let's get going. Oh man, good to be back. Good to be back aboard, little girl. Yeah, and I'm gonna start digging out the supplies I need for up on the foredeck. In the meantime, it smells great in here. I love it. I love it. I just took out that ugly piece of dirty carpet that I put down months ago. It was just gross. I mean, you don't put a white carpet down on a boat that's being worked on. It ends up looking like a piece of garbage. So that's out of here. I'll sweep this up later. But in the meantime, I've found some tape. I'm going to be using this up there. Found my sandpaper. Found my camera clip. So it'll be good. I think we're going to get up there and work for a little while before we go and grab breakfast. But yeah, hang on. Turn this around. So, okay. Like I said, before breakfast, I think the only thing I'm going to do here is to try to get the tow rails cleaned up that go along both sides of the foredeck there. Over the much work that's been done in the past 2 years, rebuilding the foredeck and putting down the fairing compound and everything, they've gotten really caked up with crap. And so I'm going to go in and try to sand out a lot of that, clean it up the best I can, probably throw some acetone into them just to kind of get it so that they'll be tapeable. And then I've got a roll of 2-inch tape downstairs that I'm going to use for going all along the inside of the, both port and starboard on the tow rail, so we can paint right up to that when we begin painting today. Yeah, so with that, quit talking, Randy. Let's just get up there and get it done. After breakfast, we'll be up here with the paint and start going on that. Start get this foredeck. We're going to do at least 2 coats. And I don't know how long this paint takes to dry. It's called wet edge, it's supposed to be really, really good stuff. So, but I've got to get all these tow rails ready to go and get them taped first before we can even begin that. So, right now, let's go ahead and get some acetone all along these tow rails and get that cleaned up so our tape will stick. And yeah, you can't see this. Not that you need to, but I forgot that I'd already done quite a bit of work, especially up here in the breast hook, because I mean this is an area that really got kind of worked on a lot because of trying to work in and around it with a sander and getting the fairing compound in all the right places, in very tight places up and behind the breast hook. Okay, now we're over to port. There's a lot more work to be done over here. Already got all this sanded out though. And, yeah, that's gonna be nice. Nothing by the breast hook here. You see how much sawdust and crud is coming off from that. The beauty of it is all this that I've done is going to make it nice for that 2-inch tape to be able to hold while we do all the paint work. All right, good. See, even now I see some more. Let me see. What's that? Oh, never mind. I thought there was more fairing compound. It wasn't. It's just some fairing dust. But that's what you need to, that's why we're doing the acetone. Get all this crap off in here. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good. And with that, guys, we're done. We're gonna head for breakfast. We'll be back. And I don't know what the temp is right now. Temp should be great today. I think it's just be mid-70s. Perfect for doing our paint work. So we'll get back from breakfast and sweep us all down. You know, this has all been primered. Sweep all this primer deck down and set everything up with taping, and then we'll get going. Well, I just getting ready to head up to West Marine right now to pick up my Kiwi grip. I checked and they still got those 2 packages left, and all I need is 1. My brother checked on this and said that 1 liter of that stuff, and that's what you buy it by the liter. 1 liter of that stuff will cover either 20 or 25 square feet. Either way, I checked the deck just now. It's 5 feet across at the back near the cabin, and it's only 5.5 feet up to behind the up behind the breast hook. And if this was 5 feet wide, 5 feet long, all the way around, in other words, a square, that's 25 square feet. It's not. It's a point. In other words, it tapers, and so there's more than adequate Kiwi grip to cover the entire thing. And I'm not covering the entire thing because I'm going to be doing a margin around the edges. I'm going to be doing a strip up the center where the bow cleat is going to go, all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to go buy 1 liter of the buff Kiwi grip, and we'll be good to go. And then I'm back here and we're going to start painting shortly. I'm hoping that the wind dies down a little bit. I don't want this debris coming off the trees right when I'm trying to paint. So we'll see. I'm going to make this trip up there. Maybe the wind will die down and we can get started. Well, I got it. I called about a week ago and asked him to set one of these aside for me, and he said, forget it. I figure with even 2 of them in the store, not everybody's going to come rushing in and buy a 1 liter of cream Kiwi grip. So one of these was left, and I just got it, and this is the baby. This is what I'm going to be doing on my foredeck. And not bad. I mean, it's $62, and I'm surprised they didn't charge any more than what it says on their website, because usually you end up with having to pay good old Massachusetts tax, but I didn't. They stuck with the $62 or whatever it is. All right, that's it. Good. Let's head back to the house. Okay, we've got all of our equipment ready to go and go up on the deck when we're ready. First things first, I've got to go get everything taped off up there. Keep in mind here, we're going to do the entire deck in wet edge first, at least 2 coats. Then after that, then we go ahead and tape off for the all grip with a margin down the center, around the perimeter, margin down the center of the deck. You know, that your deck cleat is going to be mounted on, and a margin around the toe rails. But all that's going to be later. Number 1, the entire foredeck is going to be painted in this stuff first, and hopefully you get at least 2 coats of that on before we even think about sanding the part that we're going to be putting all grip on and putting the all grip on. So a lot of work to do, and let's just get up there and get to taping off that the toe rails and get that ready to go. Okay, lunch is over. I'm back out here. As you can see, more debris is mounted up, but I just figured it out. It's really not that much of a panic here, because much of this is all going to be under Kiwi grip. And so the only part that is going to, and I can repaint those sections that I need done nice and neat, pristinely in the, you know, wet, what do they call it? Wet edge. Around the edges, which is about a 2-inch margin all the way around the edges, and the other one is a big strip about 4 inches, maybe 6 inches from right behind the breast hook back to the front of the cabin. That's the only part that I really need to worry about staying white and staying meticulous, because the rest of this is, you know, is going to be done underneath the Kiwi grip. And it's all going to be sanded anyway in order to rough it up to let the Kiwi grip have a tooth to it. So anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get going. I'm going to mix up the first tray of paint, and I'm going to start up at the breast hook and work down my starboard side. Okay, so I just got all this cleaned up, you know, poured in here. We're good to go. Tray is ready. Now I got to put one cap full of this stuff in, and we'll be ready to start painting. Okay, here we go. I've seen a test done on this stuff. And one of the wonderful things about this paint is that it has a wonderful way of leveling. So I'm really kind of trusting that, doing the best I can to apply evenly and nicely. Hate that stupid little flecks of stuff coming down off the trees. Not a thing I can do about it. Ooh, that's leveled out very nicely up there. Second coat and nobody will know the difference. I'm looking up in behind the breast hook right now, which you can't see, but Yeah, I was really worried about that. Yeah, this is going to be nice. I'm just trying the best I can to get this stuff on without flexing stuff coming out. Well, that's not bad. Okay. Gotta move this. Moving on back. We're staying on starboard. Yeah, I was watching Andy on Boatworks today. I've mentioned him in other videos. And he did a test run with this stuff. And one of the things I really like about it, it was very clear that it has some really nice self-leveling properties to it. Stinking pine needle right in the way. Get out of there, you piece of garbage. Okay, I'm gonna quit showing this for now. Well, it's all painted, guys, for better or for worse. Every bit of it, including the front of the cabin here. And at this point, I'm walking away. I'm gonna just let it dry. When it's all done, we'll pop all the garbage that's accumulated on it from the trees. Just pop it all off and sand it down, and that'll be it for this trip, because I'm afraid tomorrow is not going to be any better in terms of wind. Be right back to the same old crap that we had to do today. Was no matter what I do, more garbage comes down and right into it. So the only way to do this would be to have a cover over this, like another tarp, like a clear plastic or something, where you could actually work underneath without this garbage getting in it. That's the only way. It's the only way. And it's a pain, but that's the way it is. So, all right. Well, thank you for stopping by, hearing me complain. Well, guys, I just got off the phone with Total Boat. It's been really frustrating because I've now painted all of the front of the cabin, all of the foredeck, and this paint is taking forever and ever to dry. And the stuff that I painted initially, probably 2-3 hours ago, not even close to being dry. So I called them and I said, well, how long does this stuff take to dry, And I told them, yes, I followed the directions. I put a cap full of their special solvent in that, helps to thin it, and so on and so forth. And I'll tell you, what they told me back, okay, well, I guess I'll just gotta wait, because they say it takes up to 12 hours to dry. I guess I'm terribly naive on boat paints. I've done a lot of boat painting. But yeah, 12 hours was something I was not expecting them to tell me. So anyway, at this point, there is just a massive cloud of debris all over this wet paint. The whole deck has now been painted, and the front of the cabin. And so what I'm going to do is walk away and just let it dry, because I'm not going to go trying to dig it out. Every one I dig out is going to just make a mess. So I'll let it dry. And I think what's going to happen is once everything does dry down, these will probably pop right off with no trouble at all, but for the most part. So anyway, guys, hey, so if you're using Total Boat Wet Edge, just expect a good long drying time, and be patient. All right, well, since we're done with the foredeck until it dries, which probably won't be till tomorrow morning. Anyway, I've decided to come down here. The cabin has just gotten to be just a mess. Every time you open that cabin companionway here, pollen comes in. It is just loaded. I took the tarp off this morning, last night actually. I just gagged. I must have inhaled just anyway, just awful. They have a pine pollen here to where everything just turns yellow. So anyway, I've gotten down here, done some cleaning up. Wanted to see how my trivet looks down here on my new countertop, and got to get it up into the V-berth. Got a bunch of supplies that I'm all done using now because all the fairing compound, that's all done, and so the tools that went with it, all that's going to get out of here. We've got to get back down into the basement. So anyway, I'm going to turn this around and take a look and see how this trivet goes on my new countertop for pots and pans, and you know, it's well, we'll see. Oh, there it is. Doesn't exactly fit in with all the mahogany, but it'll do for what I need it for. And it's some pretty well looking cherry wood. Somehow the cherry and the mahogany just don't quite mesh, but hey, it's here, and I can use it for when I take pans off and so on and so forth. So, all right, I think we're going to start a new tradition tomorrow morning. We're going to have coffee out here in the morning, and make my coffee in here, and instead of making it in the Keurig in the house, we'll do some boat coffee tomorrow morning. So we'll definitely be looking forward to that. Well, guys, good morning. Here we are, about 10 minutes to 7 the next morning. This stuff has been on, this paint has been on for, oh, good grief, 17, 18 hours at least. And so much for the 12 hours it's dry. I'll tell you, I'm just kind of had it with this stuff. This is a wet edge. I'm just really not happy. And it's still tacky. I mean, I don't know if you can hear it. It's still tacky. It's not all that humid out either. I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning this up, and we're just going to let this dry for the day. I don't think we're going to put another coat on. I don't know. I may, and there's no sense in it. I don't know. Suffice it to say, this is not turning out the way that I planned it. Well, guys, that's it for video number 1. Have no fear. The old grouch will finally get it together in video number 2. It was a little discouraging. The wind just would not stop, and I kept getting debris down off those trees, never ending. So anyway, still managed to make good on it with the next video. So I hope you stick around and enjoy that one when it comes. It'll be about another week before I get it out. But yeah, it was a trip much anticipated. I was excited about it, and I was really hoping everything was going to work out just the way I wanted it to, but you know how it goes. I mean, the best laid plans of mice and men. Anyway, okay, well, I'm going to let you wait until the next one to see how it all comes out, but yeah, I'm encouraged that everything with the next video is going to be set up for the next visit. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, quote unquote. I mean, yeah, I was a little distressed. Anyway, enough on that topic. Guys, thanks for stopping by Restoring a Little Girl. We'll get another one out in about a week, and I hope you enjoy that one. Take care. Bye.